Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Believe.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Halloween podcast. I am your host, Lyle Perez. Today is October 21st, 2024, and this is episode 40 of our Haunted America series. That's right, I have done 40 of these. Well, with this one, it will be 40 consecutive days of doing Haunted America shows. Today, we're heading to South Carolina, a state rich with haunted history. From eerie plantations to haunted bridges, South Carolina is filled with ghostly stories that will leave you trembling. So grab them flashlights, guys, because we are headed to the Palmetto State, South Carolina. Our first stop is the Poinsett Bridge in Landrum, the oldest bridge in South Carolina, built in 1820. This 14-foot high stone bridge, with its Gothic-style arch, was once part of the road that connected Charleston and Columbia to the mountains of North Carolina. Despite its historic beauty, this bridge is known for something much darker, its ghostly past. Legend has it that a ghost of a mason who died during construction still haunts the site. Visitors report hearing phantom footsteps, disembodied voices, and feeling cold spots on the warmest days. Some claim to have seen shadowy figures moving across the bridge at dusk, while others report the sensation of being watched by unseen eyes. Many paranormal investigators have visited Poinsett Bridge, capturing EVPs and strange images on their cameras. While the bridge is open to the public, it's also isolated, adding to the eerie feeling of being alone with the spirits of the past. Charleston's Old Charleston Jail is a notorious spot for ghost hunters. Built in 1802, the jail housed some of the city's most dangerous criminals, including Lavinia Fisher, often called America's first female serial killer. Fisher, along with her husband John, was executed in 1820, but many believe her spirit never left the jail. She's often seen in her wedding dress, a haunting reminder of her tragic and gruesome story. Visitors to the jail have reported seeing shadowy figures roaming the dark corridors, hearing the clanking of chains, and feeling an overwhelming sense of dread in certain areas of the building. Paranormal investigators have captured EVPs of what they believe to be Lavina's voice, along with unexplained mists and cold spots in the jail's hallways. Today, the Old Charleston Jail is open for ghost tours, where visitors can experience its haunted history firsthand. Another haunted hotspot in Charleston is Magnolia Cemetery, one of the city's oldest burial grounds. Established in 1850, this sprawling cemetery is the final resting place for many prominent South Carolinians, including Confederate soldiers and the Hunley submarine crew. The cemetery's peaceful setting is overshadowed by its eerie reputation. Visitors often report seeing shadowy figures moving between the gravestones at night. One of the most famous spirits said to haunt Magnolia is a woman dressed in black, often seen weeping near one of the graves. Cold spots and phantom voices are also commonly reported, especially near the graves of Confederate soldiers. Some visitors have even claimed to hear the sound of gunfire and cannon blasts, as if the Civil War battles are still being fought on these sacred grounds. Magnolia Cemetery remains open to the public during the day, offering both historical and ghost tours for those brave enough to come face to face with one of its lingering spirits. The Battery Carriage House Inn in Charleston is famous for its two resident ghosts, the Gentleman Ghost and the headless torso. Built in 1843, this beautiful inn overlooks the Charleston Battery, and while it offers stunning views, it's also home to some terrifying specters. Guests staying in room 10 have reported encounters with the gentleman ghost, who is described as a tall man wearing old-fashioned clothing. He is said to sit on the edge of the bed, quietly watching guests before disappearing into thin air. Even more frightening is the headless torso, seen in room 8. Guests have woken up to find a decapitated figure standing at the foot of their bed, silently looming over them. The ghost is believed to be the spirit of a Confederate soldier who was beheaded during the Civil War. The inn remains open to the public, offering luxurious accommodations for those brave enough to stay the night. Located in Anderson, Crybaby Bridge is a haunted site with a tragic legend. The story goes that a young mother lost her baby when their carriage fell into the river beneath the bridge. Now, late at night, visitors report hearing the faint cries of a baby and seeing the shadowy figure of the mother searching desperately for her lost child. The bridge has been closed to vehicles, but it's still accessible to those brave enough to walk across. Paranormal investigators frequently visit Crybaby Bridge, capturing strange EVPs and experience cold spots in the middle of summer. Some have even claimed to see phantom carriages moving across the bridge, while others have felt a sudden tugging at their clothes, as if an invisible hand is reaching out to them. The bridge is open to the public, making it a popular destination for local ghost hunters. The Bernard Plantation ruins, located on Hilton Head Island, offer a haunting glimpse into South Carolina's antebellum past. Built in the late 18th century, the plantation was owned by William Bernard, who tragically lost the estate in a game of poker. Bernard passed away in 1849, but visitors say his spirit still lingers, especially late at night. One of the most eerie legends tied to the ruins is the ghostly funeral procession. Many have reported seeing a line of phantom mourners making their way through the trees, accompanied by the sound of solemn funeral music. Visitors to the ruins have also experienced cold spots and felt an overwhelming sense of sadness, as if they'd witnessed the tragic fall of a once grand estate. The ruins are open to the public, making them a perfect spot for history buffs and paranormal enthusiasts alike. Charleston is no stranger to haunted locations, but few places are as eerie as White Point Gardens. Located at the tip of the Charleston Peninsula, this historic public park is also known as the Battery. During the 18th century, pirates were executed here, their bodies lied hanging as a warning to others. Many believe that the spirits of these pirates now haunt the gardens, searching for revenge against their executioners. Ghostly figures, often dressed in old-fashioned clothing, have been seen wandering the grounds at dusk. Visitors have reported hearing disembodied voices and feeling cold spots near the oak trees that line the walkway. White Point Gardens remains open to the public year-round, and it's a favorite spot for ghost tours in Charleston. The Admiral's House at the former Navy base in North Charleston holds a chilling past. Built in 1905, this grand estate was once home to naval officers, but beneath its stately exterior lies a history of slavery and torture. The most famous ghost said to haunt the property is that of a young slave girl. She's often spotted near a clump of trees on the property, and visitors have reported feeling a cold presence when near the area. The house is also believed to be haunted by naval officers who died during their time stationed here. People have reported seeing their apparitions wandering the halls, still performing their duties long after their deaths. Although the Admiral's House is not open for regular public tours, It is still included in several ghost tours around Charleston, making it a popular destination for ghost hunters. One of the most terrifying legends in South Carolina surrounds Seven Devils Bridge in Woodruff. According to local lore, 7 people were hanged from the bridge in the early 20th century, and their spirits have haunted it ever since. It's said that no living person can cross the bridge at midnight without being harmed by the ghosts of the hanged men. Many who have tried to cross at this time report feeling intense fear and a strong urge to flee. Paranormal investigators and locals alike have reported seeing shadowy figures near the bridge and hearing unexplained screams coming from the surrounding woods. The bridge is open to the public, but it's not for the faint at heart, especially if you plan to visit after dark. Built in 1735, the Hopswee Plantation is not only a piece of pre-Revolutionary War history, but also a place of eerie ghostly encounters. The plantation, once a thriving rice farm along the Santee River, is now famous for its paranormal activity, drawing the curious and the brave alike. Visitors and staff have long reported unsettling experiences while exploring the historic property, with one of the most frequent sightings being the ghost of a young girl who wanders the grounds. Dressed in a simple white dress, her figure has been seen near the old slave quarters, along with the oak-lined pathways. Some say she's searching for something or someone lost to time. In addition to the spectral child, strange sounds often echo through the plantation's grand halls. Phantom footsteps can be heard pacing up and down the stairs, even when the house is completely empty. Visitors have also reported hearing the unmistakable sound of doors slamming shut, though, when investigated, the doors remain perfectly still. There are even accounts of cold spots that appear out of nowhere, chilling those who pass through them despite the warm South Carolina air. Hopswee Plantation still offers tours, allowing guests to not only learn about its rich history, but perhaps encounter a piece of its haunted past as well. Whether you come for the history or the hauntings, Hopswee's timeless charm is sure to leave a lasting impression. And there you have it. That is our look at South Carolina. I hope you enjoyed all of the chilling stories that come from this wonderful state. If you're loving what I'm doing here at the Halloween Podcast with Haunted America, please leave us a 5-star review on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you're getting your podcasts from. It really does help bring more spooky listeners. If you have any questions, comments, or want to suggest anything for a future show, send me an email, thehalloweenpodcast@gmail.com. And if this is your first time here, welcome. Please consider hitting that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all of the cool Halloween podcast episodes that are sure to hit the feed. And don't forget to go to our website, thehalloweenpodcast.com. Check out our merch store. We got a lot of cool stuff up there. Feel free to order some stuff. All proceeds go to help the Halloween Podcast pay for all of the production costs that happen here. Make sure you come back tomorrow because we are on our way to South Dakota, where the Wild West meets the paranormal. I'll see you guys then. Have a good night.